Hi, I'm Peggy,
And I'm Marci, and this is No More Bullshift.
where we turn why me into watch me.
Ready to shift? Let's go.
All right. Hey, Marci.
Hey, Peggy.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm so good. How are things going on your manifestation journey?
Actually, really good. As you know, I want to remodel my bathroom, and part of that, and also rest. And then, so part of that would be kind of doing a few things to our attic. And I put some phone calls out there, and the ball is rolling really well.
Awesome.
So yeah, but I feel like I'm trying to do the correct order of operations. So I need to take care of that first. Then that will lead to me doing the bathroom. So really good. How about you?
So I'm plugging along on this whole YouTube goal that I've got. I'm in this YouTube training to grow your channel and all the things. So
Yeah, that's great.
I feel like it's going well. Yeah.
How many followers do you have?
Oh, okay. Okay. We're just baby. We're baby. I think I've got maybe 110.
Nice.
And, I'm on my way to 100,000.
Yeah,
So,
right.
But I am telling you, once I can figure out, apparently thumbnails are the big deal.
Okay.
So once I can figure out the thumbnails, the sky's the limit.
There you go.
Because the quality
There you
of
go.
the material obviously is great.
I feel like just tell us the name of your YouTube in case any followers here want to then follow there.
Okay, so it's the Eden Shift. I like that, Mars. Way to go. It's called the Eden Shift, and it's got similar shifting mentality that this does.
Love it.
However, it is very much transformation, physical transformation for good type of. It's obviously using my weight loss journey.
Got it.
To help people see that there's so much more involved in it than calories in, calories out.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah, so it's
Great.
just me sharing my journey and what I've been through so that other people can hopefully fast track their
Love
experience.
It. The Eden Shift. So check
The
that out.
Eden Shift, yes.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Well, let's get to it. So it's March, and we are talking about manifestation, bringing things into your life that you want. So Peggy, go ahead and tell us kind of the steps we've covered and then what we're covering today.
Okay, so in manifestation, there are 4 steps. So we've talked about the first step, which is getting your aligned intention, right? So
Yes.
you've got to set your goal, but it needs to be a goal that is in alignment with what your heart wants. So we've already talked about that. Then the second one is inspired or aligned actions, so that we aren't hustling or trying to browbeat into existence what we want, but we are co-creating with the universe by staying in complete alignment. And then the third one was our belief and trust that it will happen because we chose an authentic goal. We are now taking the aligned action, and we have complete belief and trust in what it is that is coming to us on divine timing.
Love it. Okay.
So now step 4 is, I think it sounds like the easiest one to do. In my opinion, it's probably the hardest. And that is to be in the place of receiving. And it's a lot tougher than it sounds because it's complete surrender. It's where you are taking yourself out of the equation in terms of action.
Okay.
And you're focusing more on vibration and frequency, which seems so woo-woo, but this is where it all breaks down. Everybody's like, I set my goal, I've taken all the steps, I've believed it's going to happen because I'm taking all these steps, and they're not realizing, oh, you are sabotaging in so many different ways you aren't even aware that you're doing because it is, everything is energy.
Right.
Everything is energy. And so when you can do it the easy way or the hard way, I guess. If you want to do the hustle way to get what you want, it's a lot harder. A lot of times you won't get that goal because it's going to be complicated and you're going to give up. Or you can surrender to the process and you can get yourself in that place of receiving with your frequency so high, you are a match to the thing that wants to come to you. Because if your thing is up here, but you're down here, you're not a frequency match. You are never going to bridge that gap unless you do the things that it takes. But if you keep doing the things that are blocking it, it's going to stay up here and you're going to stay down here and you're never going to come together.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's important. And I think this is a really good subject because I think this is where a lot of people struggle. And I think there are some parallels like with the woo woo part of this and like the life coaching side of this.
I agree 100%.
So let's break it down.
Limiting beliefs.
Yes.
It's really that subconscious thought process that you
Right.
don't even realize a lot of the time because you're so busy is playing in the back of your mind.
Right.
So you think, oh, I'm staying in this position of belief and trust and all of these things. But secretly, if things get a little sticky, if they get tough, those limiting beliefs come into place going, oh, see, it wasn't, I knew it. I'm no good at this, or I'm never going to be good at tech, so I could never have a podcast. So you're saying all of these things without even realizing those things are blocking you.
Right.
Those things are blocking the receiving.
What life coaching would say about this is like in the brain, any thought you think, positive or negative, your brain is going to go to prove it true. So let's say it's that same thing. Like, I'll never be techie enough to have a podcast. Then your brain goes and looks for evidence to back it up.
It's always looking for the proof.
Trying to prove it true. So when we're trying to choose a new thought that we actually want to believe in, we can't go 0 to 100. We can't go like, I'll never be techie to like, I'm amazing at tech, because you're fighting like it's too hard of a belief to try to hold on to. And basically, I always describe it like a meadow. And we've already worn away the old thought path in the meadow. So when we're trying to find a new thought, we're going to try to make a new path in the meadow. But we're going to have to trudge some like plants and stuff. Like, this is a harder path to like get cooking. So you need a baby thought, like one little baby step. So maybe instead of I'm bad at tech, maybe it's like I'm bad at tech right now, but I've also learned different things in my life and I can learn things pretty well. Or I'm bad at tech, but there's so many resources now like YouTube and social media, or I can put something into AI, I can figure this out. I can figure out hard things. And then like slowly you'll start to like change your beliefs and thoughts around it.
I agree. And I think, the words we say are so important. So even in that, you can't go from 0 to 60, right? You can't go from I'm bad at tech to I'm amazing at tech, but you can say, I am a little challenged with technology. I am a great learner. And so now that is a true statement. And now your brain is going to prove to you, I can learn tech, but I'm a really good learner.
Right.
So say those things, try to remove all negative language. And that's really hard. And you have to catch yourself. And I want to just put a point in here. I'm kind of like jumping into already like what we do to fix it. But I was listening to this podcast today about this woman who had essentially had started a business. It was going great, and COVID hit, and her business actually got better post-COVID because she was a wedding photographer. So all like it stalled out during COVID, but she lived in Hawaii, which apparently Hawaii gave people shit tons of money.
Wow, nice.
I don't know, while they were going through everything. So she wasn't hurting then. And she and her husband were in this business together. And then they came out and it was just wildfire. And she got kind of burnt out on it. Well, there was this whole thing that because everybody had like fast-tracked their weddings into these like 1.5 to 2 years, that there was going to be this lull. And so that's what she kept telling herself.
Yes.
Oh, there's going to be a lull in my business now. There's going to be a lull in my business now. And sure enough, she went from like 10 inquiries a day to maybe 2 a week.
Oh, interesting.
And she didn't really realize how much of this like self-talk she was doing.
Yes.
That was, oh, well, there's going to be a lull, so whatever. And then her family came to her and they're like, you're kind of talking negative.
Oh, fascinating.
You never talked like this before when things were going well.
Yeah.
You were always like, oh, it's, there's a lot going on, but it's so exciting and I love it and I'm traveling the world and all of these things. And now you're just like, oh, I knew this was going to happen. The industry predicted it. So it's just what's happening.
Right.
And so she said she went into this victim mindset and didn't try to turn it around. And then they didn't have money for something pretty critical. And she realized how bad things had gotten. Like they did not even have like $10,000 to cover this thing that happened. And she was like, we were making hundreds of thousands of dollars and now we don't even have 10 to do this. And it kind of woke her up. She had had a baby in the meantime and it kind of woke her up. And so bottom line, she started to invest in herself, got a coach, within 6 months, she was making $500,000 again.
Wow. Wow.
6 months, she went from nothing in the bank to $500,000.
Wow.
And she realized some things along the way. And one of the things she did that was amazing is she set her phone on voice memo for half an hour in her kitchen with just family coming in and out, kids coming in and out, or spouse coming in and out, and just recorded interactions. And she said, I could not believe just the things I would say, how often I would say no when I didn't have to, how often I would frame something in a negative light when I didn't have to, how often I was harsh when I didn't have to be.
Yeah.
She said it was so eye-opening how I spoke to the people around me.
Wow.
Even when I was trying to be conscious of not doing that.
Right.
She said it's a really great practice to try just to kind of get onto your own self. And then this is one that I think people try to say, no, that's not me. But I would say, I mean, I don't have the numbers, but I would say just from people in my life, and I'm around a lot of high vibe people, it's probably 8 out of 10 have this somewhere in their life, this feeling of lack. Like it's just never enough. There's always something missing. I wish I was thinner. I wish I was prettier. I wish I had her hair. I wish my eyes were bigger. I wish I didn't have wrinkles. The list could go on and on and on, where you're staying in this place of lack. Well, anytime what you have is not good enough, lowers your frequency, because you are telling the universe, you're not giving me enough.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with what I've got. I don't have gratitude for what I've got. It's not enough.
Right.
I need more. And I caught myself doing this. I had just started doing my quote unquote star charts, according to Marci.
We'll talk about this one day.
At some point, but these things I call sacred soul map, but Marci has lovingly reframed as star charts, so now that's what we call them. But it's astrology is involved, but whatever. And I remember as I was starting them, I had done some of my manifestation, and I had said in my journaling, I would really love it if I made $1,200 this month, I think, and that would have been roughly 4 maps. I surpassed it. I think I got 5 or 6 in November. And I remember I was cleaning my house and had on my AirPods, and somebody had texted me and said, hey, I want to do one. And I think that put me at the 5th one, so it put me over. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, okay. Gosh, I really wish I had more. I wish I had 8 this month. That would be really good. Going into Christmas, just a little extra fun money. And immediately I was like, you surpassed the
goal. Right.
You had set, and instead of saying thank you, universe, that text I got, I hadn't even pursued that with that person.
Wow.
And instead of being thank you, universe, for this, I immediately went to the place of it's not enough.
You pushed the goalpost back.
I wish I had more. And I was like, oh,
check
you
yourself.
Ungrateful girl. I mean, it was eye-opening because I do all of this work all the time.
Right.
And then immediately that's where my brain went.
I think at the core, caveman brain, if you will, your brain is wired to help you survive. So, of course, it wants you to strive for more, because it wants to survive and provide and protect and everything. And it also doesn't want you to be uncomfortable. So it also, the caveman brain's sit on the couch, eat the Cheetos. Don't go for the new business you're starting. Don't go for the girlfriend you want to ask out, but you're afraid. All these things. And so I think it's just so important to be on to ourselves and realize you are not your first thought, period. It's optional. And in this book I read from Wayne Dyer, I don't remember which one, but basically he talks about say nothing out loud, but in your head, say hello, hello, hello. Can you hear yourself saying hello? Yeah, that's right. Because you're not that first thought. It doesn't define you. It's a habit. And you're allowed to change your habit from going from pushing back the goalpost constantly to full gratitude.
Yeah. And we'll talk a little bit about that once we start going into how do we magnetize, right? Because you're so right. That first thought, throw it out. You're doing the mean, where you're just the high one, throw it out. The low one, throw it out.
Right.
Let's just land here somewhere in the real world, realistic.
Yeah.
I can buy into this story.
And if you can observe yourself, that is huge.
Being
powerful.
An observer is so
I
huge.
have walked in after a long day of work, parked my car, walked in towards the garage, and I can like let's say get home and it's like a really messy kitchen. I could get really angry. Like I've just worked 12 hours and, I work hard and then this. But then I have caught myself like, really, Marcy, is that who you want to be? Like, is that who you want to show up as for your family that like you love unconditionally and they love you? And the answer is no freaking way. No, I want to show up and like realize like they're humans too.
Well, and reframe it. What does that messy kitchen mean you have?
Yeah, a full life.
A full life with a happy family. And isn't that why you're working so hard?
Yes, and the resources. Like
Right.
we have food to cook.
And to leave out on the counter.
Yes. And dishes to clean and running water to clean them with. And like you can choose. You can choose like my family's not perfect and like cleaning the kitchen every second of the day. Or man, my family has arms and legs at work and breath to breathe and like a joy in cooking and preparing food. What a fun hobby. Like, it's all a choice.
They must have had a really great night. Look at this kitchen. They were in here together cooking and living their best lives.
Yes, or
I'm working hard so they can.
Right. Or some raccoons came
Yeah,
and just were like, I'm making mac and cheese. And I was like, get it, raccoons.
Whatever. Come on.
That's
this
right.
is a happy, full home.
That's right.
This is a refuge.
So yes, okay. So I feel like okay. Let's kind of rapid fire some of these.
Okay, control loops. So you try to control the how, the when, the what, the why. Nervous system dysregulation. So stress, fight or flight. When we stay in that place, we cannot receive. Our frequency is so low.
And I feel like that's such a buzzword right now, which kind of
it is
peeves me, but it's okay.
It is, but it's not wrong. So if you can just take nervous system out of it, which it is your nervous system, I mean, that's your caveman. Right?
Yes.
That's your caveman. Your amygdala, when it gets triggered, you can't shut it off. You've got to consciously come in and shut down that amygdala. And that amygdala is that fight or flight. It is that I am going to die. This thing is coming at my face.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So you've got to figure that out. You've got to figure out, how do I regulate stress? How do I regulate that fight or flight? It's not optional, even if it's a buzzword. It's not optional. You won't receive. Postponing happiness. So saying, I'll be happy when.
Right. When I have 7 clients instead of the 5.
Exactly. When I have this bathroom. I'll be happy when my marriage is perfect, instead of just finding the happy. I'll be happy when my kitchen is clean.
Right.
Self-sabotaging behaviors. This is a big one that we often convince ourselves out of. Procrastination. So this is me right now currently with writing my book. So I'm writing my book, right? And it's uncomfy for me. I'm trying to get into this place where I'm letting to open up my imagination more and not being so literal, and it's uncomfortable. Right. So I want to avoid it.
Yeah.
So my nervous system wants to avoid it. So it's like, we don't like the way that feels. That makes us uncomfy. We want to fly away. And so I procrastinate. Oh, well, I should probably take that walk. I need to throw in that laundry. I should probably put in dinner. Oh, gosh, I got to call Sarah. Oh, I should probably pay those bills. And before you know it,
the day's gone.
It's gone. Oh, gosh, well, I'll write tomorrow.
Right. And it's just kicking the can down the road.
It is. And you don't even realize you're doing it. Like, you don't consciously realize that's the game you're playing.
Right.
Because we're very good at it.
You have to be on to yourself. Also, I think it's really important, if something is bothering you or worrying you or whatever, action is the antidote to anxiety. So if you're like stressing about that book or whatever the thing is, action is the antidote. And one little hot tip from the girl that likes to gamify everything. I try to make it fun when I have to do something. Like when I have to go through and total up all my taxes and stuff for the year. It's like tedious to me, and it's not like my favorite activity, of course. So I will be like, Marcy, I'm going to give you a latte. You get a special coffee when you're all done with your taxes, okay? Or like whatever your treat is, like find that carrot to dangle to get the action done.
Celebrating the success is so huge. All the small little wins.
Yes.
Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. And then the last one, and this is a big one, and we have a mini coming on this, maybe even a bigger than that. But you got to get yourself out of environments you don't belong in anymore. Because if they are keeping your frequency low, you are never going to be a match for that thing that you want. So if you are trying to actively reprogram that brain, right, and just start to reframe and find the happiness and find the gratitude and find the joy and find all of the things and you are constantly around people who keep you in that low road, it's not going to match. You are, I just heard it today on a different podcast. I'm a kind of a podcast junkie, but I was walking, so which is when I celebrate wins, I walk and listen to podcasts, and that was today. So they said that you are the 5 people you surround yourself with the most. You are the product of that.
For sure.
For sure. The 5 people in your world, the closest people, are either keeping you down or they're building you up.
Right.
So you are going to go into that people pleasing. Okay, I don't really want that cocktail, but I don't want them to make fun of me for not having that cocktail. Everybody else is having the cocktail. I'm going to have the cocktail. Or you don't have the cocktail, then everybody's putting you down for not having the cocktail. So then you're feeling like crap for not having the cocktail. So your frequency is staying low. If you keep putting yourselves in positions like that, that's just an example, but let's just say it's weight loss. And a friend that I did my weight loss with before I actually lost weight, and we would do Weight Watchers. And I'm not even kidding you. We would go to McDonald's, have it waiting in the car. We would go into the meeting. We'd starve ourselves all day. We would weigh in, skip the meeting, go back to the car and eat our McDonald's.
Was it still hot?
I mean, I didn't get the fries, but
Okay.
my burger was fine. I mean, we were starving. We hadn't eaten all day.
Yeah,
No, we didn't
wow.
care. We'd have a milkshake. I'm not even kidding you.
You would just go for it.
We did.
But then did it keep going all weekend, or was that just a special meal?
Oh, no, it was never just a special meal because it was
Okay.
like, okay, well, we don't weigh in. We always weighed in on a Tuesday. Okay, well, we don't weigh in until the following Tuesday. So we'll be
Yes.
bad, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll like hit it hard. Then
Yeah.
we'll, starve ourselves on Monday to undo anything that we did over the weekend.
Yeah.
And then we'll get the McDonald's to eat after. And it was this loop. We weren't changing behaviors. We weren't even
Right.
trying to. When I finally lost weight, I didn't do it with anybody.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't, because I can't bring other people's limiting beliefs.
Right.
All their subconscious. I've got to figure out what my own are.
Yes.
And I can't be battling. So I didn't surround myself. So what ended up happening is I didn't surround myself with people who were trying to lose weight. I surrounded myself with people who had healthy habits.
That's good.
So then it wasn't even like they were trying to influence me, but I was watching what they were doing. And if I went out to dinner with them, they weren't ordering.
Like through osmosis.
Yeah, it was just like
Yeah.
we weren't even considering to order an appetizer, a drink, a dessert, the main course. Like we weren't even considering
Right.
that. It was, which salad am I going to get? Which has the highest protein, do you
Wow.
think? These are the different conversations we were having.
Right.
Right?
It just changed it. The thing I think is a little bit tricky about this one, about like, let's say, removing yourself from people that you no longer want to share common interest, belief, whatever with, is it can feel scary to let go of something that feels so familiar. And I think familiar can feel comforting. So then if you find someone with that similar belief that to the old group, let's just call it the old group, then it can be easy to, or even like an old boyfriend, right? Like it can feel familiar and you're like, oh, maybe I want this again. But I think that's where faith comes in. You have to hold out in belief that you're going to find something better. You deserve better. Like that's so good.
I think you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable, and you have to know that going in. We want to be comfortable so badly. That's why the familiar feels good.
Right.
And the unfamiliar doesn't feel safe.
Yes.
If you are committed to a change, you just have to say, I'm going to feel this feeling until I don't.
And then breathe through it. I think identify where it is in your body. It's typically somewhere in the trunk, like below the head and then like above the leggies. But like it might be in your stomach. It might be like in your throat. It might be tightness in your chest. But if you feel the uncomfortable spot, like literally just breathe into it and even identify it. You could name it if you wanted, but like the color, like what color it is, where is it in your body, and breathe through it. Because what you're showing your nervous system is we can override this. We don't need to go into fight or flight. Nothing's gone wrong. I have you. I'll keep you safe. And in this Harvard study that I read about in Psychology Today magazine, not sponsored.
Wow.
But it talked about speaking to yourself in third person is way more powerful than first person. So Elmo had it right. So sometimes if I'm like whatever, doing a bunch of chores, or I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm just bopping around. I'll be like, Marcy, I got you. You're okay. It's all good. Like if I'm worrying about something or freaking out about something, I'll talk to myself in the third person. And you could just do that too, Pam.
Yeah, I do it too. Yeah, I'm like, Pegs, you got it. You don't need to worry about this.
Yeah.
Or this is not real.
Yes.
This thought is not real.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our thoughts aren't. And if you can wait it out, it's going to pass so fast.
That's right.
In one of my meditations one time that was guided in person, she was saying, like, look at your thoughts like a cloud. And it's just floating by. Just let it float by. I try to do that. I don't always do it. But when I have a thought that I get that chest feeling because it is that tightness. I mean, when it's constriction, you know, there's something I need to explore further here, but I'm going to wait till I'm out of the constriction and back to that expansion and go, what was that about?
Yeah.
I need to revisit that, but I don't want to do it when I'm in the heat of the moment. I don't want to do it while I'm in that emotional state.
That's right.
I just want to breathe through it, let it go, watch that cloud go by, and just make note. Okay, next time when I'm feeling regulated, I'm going to go back and say, what did happen there?
Yeah.
It wasn't true.
That's good. In life coaching, we'd say you should do a thought download, which is like take 5-10 minutes and just basically let your subconscious just like, bleh, like you're going to write it all on the paper. Don't judge it. Spelling doesn't matter, whatever. And then you go back after the 10 minutes of journaling and then kind of go one by one in those phrases like, is this true? Is it not? You know, and really examine it.
Yeah, and I think when you're feeling that constriction in your chest, that's a really good time to just thought download, because that's what I'll do. Like if I wake up, sometimes you just wake up with anxiety, maybe you didn't sleep well, I don't know, but
hormones,
hormones, you know you've got a big day and you're nervous, whatever. If I feel that constriction, that's the day I don't skip my journaling. That's when and that's all I do. I do 3 pages of just, well, it usually shifts into now I'm starting to get some wisdom on page 2, but I just download every thought because I just want it out of me. I just want to purge that out of my system. I don't want it to live. I don't want it to set up residence.
Yeah.
So, and the way my brain works is if I put it on paper, I feel safe because I feel like, okay thing, whatever it is that's bothering me, I've got you recorded. So you don't have to now play over and over again in my mind. If we need to come back and visit it, it's safe on paper.
Yes.
I don't have to like keep replaying it.
Yes.
We can come back if we need to.
I've heard it described as like a goldfish bowl, tons of goldfish, like so many swimming around. And when you get them on paper, it's like taking some of the goldfish out and putting them in another spot. And then suddenly there's like room to swim. There's just more space. And I love that visual.
Yeah, I do too. Or you can find that beautiful fish, the rainbow fish that's in there that got drowned out by all the goldfish, right?
It's a beta.
A beta. Well, the betas don't do well with other ones.
That's true. They're kind of fighty. They're kind of, maybe it's an angel.
An angel fish. There we go.
Yes.
Although those are sort of invasive. I don't know. We don't know fish clearly.
Write in and tell us. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. What kind of fish would do well with goldfish but get drowned out by a bunch of them? I don't know.
But I also love what you said, Peggy, about letting the anxious thought float by like a cloud, and before you take a look at whatever the question is or the struggle is or whatever. And that totally takes me to my word of the year, which is pause. And I think it's so powerful. Like, there is power in the pause.
Oh, there's so much power in the pause. And we don't want to, I mean, again, it goes back to that other control loop.
Yes.
Because the pause makes you feel inactive, but it's one of the most active things you can do. It's one of the most powerful parts of manifestation. Because when you are sitting in the pause, you are allowing for the receiving to come.
Yes.
You're just not blocking it at all. You are so open and expansive in that pause.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. So, go ahead.
So now, what is the flip side of that? How do we magnetize what we want? Because
wait, really quick before we go there.
Yep.
I kind of want to just a couple rapid fire. Let's say some struggles people might be having with this kind of like negative self-talk or doubt and that kind of thing in different scenarios. So I'm going to tell you a scenario and then like we'll discuss one at a time.
What's the scenario?
Okay, first one. Someone wants a new job.
Okay, so you clearly probably have a job and now you want a new job. Okay, this happens so much because, and this is just my opinion, I think a lot of time what happens is we think the grass is always greener somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's something uncomfortable in the job that we're in that probably doesn't have as much to do with the job as it does with your thought about the job,
Yes.
right? So you are framing it as one thing. I would be happy in this job if
Right. Goalpost.
goalposts. There you go. Yeah, we're sporty. Um,
We're so sporty.
we're so sporty. But yeah, so you're like, oh, well, I would be happy if my boss would give me a raise. I would be happy if I didn't have to work so many hours. I'd be happy if people were clearer about what the expectation is. I would be happier if people didn't dump work on my desk for me to do. Okay, what's keeping you from being happy now? Okay,
Right.
so you're making money. What does that money afford you to be able to do? Oh, well, I don't have time to do it because I'm always working, because I have to work 12 hours a day. Nobody has to work 12 hours a day. That's a choice you're making.
That's right.
It is 100%. You don't think it is, but it is, because I worked in a job where people work 12 hours a day and I could basically get it done part-time, and I had the biggest book of business. Like, it's possible. It's how you choose to spend your time. So let's look at your day. Do an audit of your day, and what is the truth? So now let's look at the truth of that. Do you really not have enough time? Is it really everybody else's fault you don't have enough time? How are you spending your time? How much time are you spending with your coworkers? Start to take some ownership and reframe it. Actually, I have lots of time. I just need to choose how I'm using my time. Okay, that will make me feel better. Okay, so I get triggered when I'm in this meeting with this one person who's always saying these things. Okay, why are you getting triggered? What are they mirroring back to you? What is it that they're doing that makes you uncomfortable? Because it's more about you than it is about them. Because if you didn't care about them, if you didn't care what they were saying, you'd just be like, oh, what a jerk, and move on, right? It wouldn't land. So why is it landing? Oh, well, because it puts work on me, because they're always putting their work on me. Well, why are you letting them?
Right.
Right?
Like-
So now how do you say, I need to create a boundary here? Probably I'd be better served if I said, I'm sorry, Caitlin, I can't do that today.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, how you want to handle that, but I've already got enough on my plate. So I can't do that right now. Why aren't you doing that? Okay, let's reframe it. I have a responsibility for my choices. I can choose how I'm going to show up that way. But we get into that, that's not fair. That's not fair. She gets this, I don't. Those
Yes.
kind of things.
Yes.
Is that what you wanted to hear?
Yeah. I think that's good. I think just any of it. Like if you're basically, like, if you want to get a new job or whatever, and you're showing up every day with like negative beliefs, like I can't do it or I can't switch or whatever, that's your brain's going to go prove it true.
And if you're sitting there not happy with the job you've got, the job you want's never going to come, because you're not in the frequency of receiving.
Right.
You are
Right.
sitting there going, this isn't enough. This isn't enough. But if you can show up as your best self,
Yes.
where you are,
Yes.
while looking forward to opportunities,
Yep.
taking aligned action and saying, I would really love it if, and we'll talk about that in a minute, I would really love it if I could get a job doing this. But maybe the job you need is already the one you've got, and you just need to figure out how to make it work. So taking a look at all of that. But if your nervous system is in fight or flight, if
Right.
you are waking up going, oh, God, I'm going to have to go to that job, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get negativity that day at your job. We just did that with Olivia, that, everything is working out in her favor.
That's
she
right.
chose to show up differently.
That's right. And bring a different energy.
And then the different opportunities present themselves. So maybe it's not even a different job outside the company. Maybe there's something there you could do that's different if you were showing up more positively.
True. Okay, another one. What if somebody is like trying to manifest the like man or woman of their dreams?
I think you would be better suited
Okay.
to answer this one.
I listened to a podcast this week, and the woman was, kind of talking about how like, oh, it's hard to meet people, blah blah blah. The woman that was being interviewed. And the lady challenged her, and I don't know if she's a dating coach or what, but she would have clients come to her and say like, oh, I only want to date someone that's 6 feet or taller, or I only want to date somebody that's, I don't know, whatever, something very specific, or only my age or 5 years older or something. And she would challenge her clients like, Nope, you have to go on a date with somebody that's shorter than 6 feet. Nope, you have to go on a date with somebody that is older than 5 years or younger by 2. And she said, and then like she said more than like at first if it's just so like sometimes it takes time to grow a physical attraction. And she herself said like she had gone on a date with this guy and she's like, listen, like I don't feel an attraction, but like I really like you and I'm just trying to do this many dates in a year. Like, do you want to still be friends, but like not like romantically? And he's like, yeah, I want to be your friend. And so they went out, and after they hung out 5 times, she was like, actually, I am attracted to you. Like it had changed something in her. And it's just so fascinating how that can happen. So I would say first picking really, oh, and this was something else they said that was really interesting. You have to ask about each other. And they said some men are just so into telling you about them, so selfish. And they never ask about you, and you need to insert yourself because as they're telling you their story, they're feeling very connected to you. And when you never share your story, you never get connected to them. And she even said, like, one guy, she's like, no, I don't want to go out with you. You're a total monologue. Like, no thanks. And she was like, I had to tell him straight up. And the other lady was like, all women kind, thank you. But my point is, like, so I think I would first like choose really good thoughts. Like there's way more than one person out there for you. First of all, own that. It's not like some diamond in the rough. Like I think he's in Tokyo. Like no. Any relationship is constantly choosing each other. You know what I mean? So if you're feeling down about yourself, I would definitely first I would do a thought download about that and how you're feeling and then I would kind of disprove a lot of those, and I would actually write a list of gratitude for yourself, all your great qualities, and you know them. And if you're struggling, ask someone that loves you, like your parents or your best friend or your sister or brother. Like, I don't know, I've never had a brother, so maybe don't ask him. But I would write that list because first you have to show up with gratitude, and then I think I'd show up with curiosity and like ask that other person about them, but then also share. But just be genuinely curious and loving to yourself and to the world.
And I would add to that, I think a lot of times we go in with lack mindset. Like nobody's ever going to love me or whatever.
Like all the good ones are taken.
All the good ones are taken.
Sure.
Or I'm not going to be complete until I find my person. And if you can show up and change that thought, that limiting belief, that I don't need another person to complete me, I love myself enough, I am worthy, I live a great life, I am perfectly happy, I want somebody to share it with, but I could die tomorrow happy because I love me. I don't need to find that love outside of me.
Right.
I love me.
Right.
I'm looking for somebody to share that love with me. I want to give love to someone. I don't need to find it from somebody else because if you are looking outside yourself to find somebody that loves you, you are going to be in lack mindset and you are going to bring something to you that isn't going to complete you because the only thing that can complete you is you.
Yeah.
You got to show up whole. So if you are finding that, you need to do some work on what's it going to take for maybe I need to date me. Maybe I need to discover all the things about myself that are worthy, that make me somebody who is like too good to put up with the guy who picks his teeth while he's eating. You know what I mean? Like you're going to start compromising if you're searching for love in every face that you see rather than the one that looks back at you in the mirror.
True. That's good. I think that's really good.
Okay, so what about like weight loss? What would you say, Marci?
I think rather than, I think you have to be really onto your thoughts and less pressure. Like, I love the thought, I'm just going to take really good care of this body. Like, I got one, I'm going to be good to her. You know, I'm going to, like, exercise and eat well and have treats that are guilt-free and sleep well and laugh loud, you know. And I love that thought so much more than I have to get down to this number. And I just think, like, really, there's a lot of pressure in society sometimes, and it's a lot on, like, social media and things, so you kind of have to, like, be careful. But I think if you can like come from a higher place and higher thinking, I think that's powerful. What about you, Peggy?
Yeah, it's so funny because I just read something that said for everything else to open up, like for everything to work the way it needs to, all those channels, the mind, the heart, the voice, all of that, your body really needs to be in line. You need to be taking care of your body. When your body can feel safe,
Yeah.
that's when everything else opens up. It's very interesting. But I would say, yeah, you can't go in, just like we were just talking, you can't go in going, okay, well, I'm this and I want to be this in 3 months.
Right.
Like, you can't start with the end in mind. You
True.
just start with the next step in mind, and you do it from a place of not, I want to fit in that size, or I want to be able to look like this in the graduation or wedding photos or whatever it is. And you just go, I just want to love my body. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to grow old in a healthy way. I just want to not hurt every time I walk up and down stairs or whatever. And you change the focus. You change the why behind what you're doing. And then you have got to, it's a lot of limiting beliefs around, because there's so much shame that goes into how we feel about our bodies that really impacts so many other areas of our lives. It impacts how we show up on dates. It just impacts how we show up at work. It really impacts a lot. So if you can let go of that shame, if you can just say, all right, well, that was a fun experiment. I don't think I want to do that anymore. I'm going to make a different choice today in this moment I'm in. Okay, so I'm going to go from, did I just eat a cookie? All right, I ate a cookie. I'm not going to eat a cookie in this next moment. Okay, I won't eat a cookie in that next moment. And you just stay focused in the moment that you're in on the person you want to be. This is where embodiment is really a big key. Show up today as the version of yourself you want to be tomorrow. So what does that girl do? What is future you? How does she eat? How does that person who loves her body and takes care of her body, how does she move through the world? Who are the people she surrounds herself with? What are the thoughts she thinks? That's who you want to show up as. Let go of the outcome. You got to detach from the outcome. That's where we get in a lot of trouble. You can't step on the scale today and go, oh, I'm up 2 pounds. Well, I blew it. I guess I'm going to go do what I always do and now binge eat and eat whatever I want because I'm up 2 pounds. Might as well start again on Monday, and it's already Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. Instead, look at it logically, because if you sat down and said, what is the truth in this moment, and you journaled it out, give yourself the data. Okay, well, last week when I weighed, I started out on Monday at this X amount of weight. Let's just say it's like 150. I started out at 150. Wednesday, I was 147. Thursday, I was 148. Saturday, I was 145. I'm up 2 pounds. I'm at 140. I'm still down 3 pounds, but I had all these fluctuations throughout all of that time period. So what is true? Is the 3 pound gain true, or is the 3 pound loss true? Which one is true? Because if you're just looking at it at that day, I'm up 2 pounds, you're seeing it as a failure. But where you started, you're still ahead. So who cares? You're going to fluctuate. You have hormones, you've got water weight. You've got to look at the whole picture, not the only snapshot of that weight in the moment that you're in. Let go of outcomes. Just let go. Just if you're doing the right things, trust yourself. Just keep going.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's good. And also, I think show up with gratitude. Like if you have a body that walks and talks and breathes and digests and has kidneys and lungs and a heart and blood, like
walks up and down the stairs.
Yes,
it can make love.
yes.
It can, enjoy the taste of fruit.
laugh. Yes.
Yeah, all of these things.
You're way ahead of so many people that would say, trade ya. I'll take that body.
Yeah, and I mean, it used to be when you were heavy, like back in Royal, like way, way back, that was a sign of, what is it, when you're like, oh, I can't think of the word. But anyway, that was a sign of privilege.
Sure.
Because you had food to eat.
Yes.
So you were a little plump because you had food to eat.
And if you were pale, that was also a sign of privilege.
Oh, yeah, it was.
And now we're like thin and tan, please.
I know. Somehow it's shifted.
What the heck?
I don't understand. But anyway, so, I think look at what you've got always.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
can't sit in gratitude for what you've got, which I guess brings us into how do we magnetize?
Yes, let's go there.
How do we magnetize all of the things to us that we want? Because just like we can lower our frequency,
Right.
we can raise it. Like this
Yep.
is a hack
I love it.
that we underestimate. So self-love, compassion for yourself. So if your best friend showed up and she was like, I gained 2 pounds today, would you be like, oh, you fatty? I knew it. Oh my God. Well, you ate that McDonald's, so you're a loser. Oh my God. You always do this. Would you do that? No, you wouldn't. You'd be like, girl, it's probably water weight. You had some Chinese last night. A lot of sodium in that. You're good. Give it till tomorrow. I mean, Marci and I are in a group chat with a friend, and we're constantly having these conversations with each other.
Yes.
Constantly.
Yes.
And she just had a big win in terms of muscle gain.
Right.
And she was frustrated because the scale wasn't reflecting it.
Right.
And she's down weight and gained 5 pounds of muscle. Are you kidding me? That is huge. That is so much more important than what a scale says. And so, those kind of things are where you have to reframe and you've got to go, I would never say this to somebody I love. So why are you saying it to yourself? Because you should love yourself more than anybody in this world loves you. And you're showing up saying these terrible, horrible things to yourself. No, you got to flip that. You got to flip it and treat yourself like somebody that loves somebody.
That's right.
And then feel it now. This is a huge hack. Huge, huge hack. Embody the feeling of the person who has it. So you show up and I do this with my podcast, not my podcast, with my YouTube. I'm not a big YouTuber today, but future me is, right? I already know this because I have complete belief in it. I just haven't caught up the timeline yet.
Right.
So I am just waiting, but I'm taking aligned action, but it's coming to me. So I am showing up today, literally, it was so funny. Where were Steve and I yesterday? Oh my gosh, we were at Pine Club with Sarah Saturday night. Shout out Pine Club, delish. Saturday night, and it was so packed. It was so busy. And I remember I was walking around the bar to go to sit, and I was like, I wonder if anybody here would recognize me from my podcast if they knew who I was. I'm like, surely they're listening. I mean, that's the kind of mindset you have to have. It sounds delulu, but if you're walking into rooms like somebody who is Mel Robbins or somebody who has this very popular, explosive YouTube presence or a best-selling book,
right?
The universe goes, oh, she believes that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, let me prove it to her. Let me prove to her she has that, and it's on its way, baby. It's not here in my reality in this moment, but there is a reality. It exists, or I wouldn't want it because that desire wouldn't be on my heart if I didn't already have it.
Right.
Right? And I believe it with my whole heart.
Yeah.
So will it happen? Yeah, it will happen.
Right.
I'm letting go of the timeline. I'm letting go of the outcome, but it will happen.
Yeah.
I'm just here for it.
Yeah. You're just on the journey.
Yeah.
I think that's good. And I think I recently read, sit for 5 minutes and really feel it. What it would be like to found that special someone or nailed that job and have an amazing office with a window. Or for me in my bathroom, soaking in a tub, so much gorgeous Carrara marble, really get there.
Yeah, you got to see it, the visualization.
And it doesn't have to be forever. It doesn't have to be 4 hours a day. No, it's 5 minutes, but it'll feel really good. I think kind of relaxing. You know what I mean? And it's not always easy.
It gets easier though.
Right. It's like anything, like a muscle that you're going to make stronger.
Well, and you never, Marci, think that there's something you can't do. I can wallpaper. I can remodel this.
Yes.
I mean, today we're talking about creating our own podcast studio. Well, we can do this.
Yes.
We don't know what we're doing, but
Right.
we'll figure it out. We can do this.
Right.
Because there's that 100% belief in ourselves. I've done harder things. Okay, that's our shift for today. If this resonated, please share it with a friend.
Help us grow. Rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen.
And connect with us at No More Bullshift on Instagram and YouTube.
And remember, if you can't laugh about it,
You probably still need to shift it.